My name is Anthony Townshow Nunez, and today I'm reviewing Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Let's talk about it! Let's review this movie. Get comfortable. I'm gonna break down Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. There will be no major spoilers in this review. I definitely will be talking about certain things in the movie just to explain how the movie goes, but I will not be spoiling any major points for you. Make sure to hit the like button. Let's do some housekeeping around here before we get started. Alright, let's jump into the movie. So, Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. That title tells you exactly why this movie has so much wrong going on that do not work for me. Now, the title Birds of Prey would have been fine by itself, but they had to add on the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, and that's exactly what happens throughout the whole movie. This is a movie that cannot get out of its own way. It will not let you satisfy you, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm watching this film, and every time the movie's about to develop to something greater, here comes some giant voiceover from Harley Quinn. So the movie is narrated, most of the movie is narrated by Harley Quinn. So it's very hard for you throughout this movie to actually settle in and kind of get a feel for the characters, because Harley Quinn's voiceover throughout the whole movie is basically telling you exactly what's happening. So whenever you're trying to settle in and enjoy a scene like, ah man, this is gonna happen, here comes some voiceover. And besides the voiceover, this movie is a very crowded movie. And I'm talking about the assault. There's a visual assault on you, there's an audio assault, there's an assault on all your senses. This movie's crammed full of things. There's a soundtrack that plays throughout the whole movie. Almost every scene of this movie has some music on it. And it gets in the way of the narration, it gets in the way of the plot for me. I really couldn't settle into things because there was always music distracting from what's happening on scene. And if there wasn't the music, then there was narration. So it's like narration and music were competing at all times. Visually, this movie is stunning at times. There's some great colors. The director really embraced the whole Harley Quinn and the clown aspect of it. The colors are throughout the movie really vivid. This is the city of Gotham, and it seems like the Gotham is split into two in this movie. So we already seen that this is the Harley Quinn, and it's referenced that this is the Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. So this is kind of like a spin-off sequel from Suicide Squad. So you already got a good image of what Gotham looked like in Suicide Squad and in the Justice League movie. But this Gotham is mostly throughout the day that you see it in the first half of the movie. They really didn't put in any work really to make it look aesthetically like the Gotham you expected. It's not that grungy, dark Gotham. Kind of looks like a day in New York City, really, a New York City day. And the next half of the movie then wants to go all Tim Burton Batman and go really dark. So it's like the first half of the movie you don't think takes place on the same planet or in the same movie as the second half of the movie. The ending of the movie, they went full Gotham, like full dark, full clown house, dark gothic Gotham. The beginning of the movie, they didn't go there. So this movie's like split into two visually. I feel like the director at the end was like, wait a second, I forgot to make Gotham really dark. So that's where they went there. I think all the actors brought their A game. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. I'll give it to her. Like, she definitely knows how to play this character. She's very entertaining as Harley Quinn. I feel like it wasn't a problem with the actors in this movie. The problem with this movie was in the plot or the lack of the plot, right? It has a very simple plot, something that you've probably seen before, and the actors are kind of forced to try to do the best they can with what they're given, and it's very little. And the movie's called Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. I'm gonna keep saying that till I get tired, but you see very little of the Birds of Prey. They really don't get that much screen time until the end of the movie. And Harley Quinn, basically, this is a Harley Quinn movie. It should have been called Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, because this is definitely a Harley movie. It's told in a sense, it's told in a way that's very Harley-ish. Some would argue, oh, you know, all the narration and the loud sounds and the music are like you're inside Harley Quinn's head. But as a movie, as a film, it just really worked against it. It made it really hard to kind of like really sit on this one and like just enjoy it. I felt like it constantly put a foot in front of the other foot and it stumbled on itself. Whenever the movie kind of feels like it's picking up a little bit of speed, here comes some narration, here comes some voiceover, here comes some loud explosion, here comes some music to interrupt the experience. So I found it really hard to enjoy what was happening, and I felt like it never really gained steam. It's like until the end of the movie, maybe the last 10-15 minutes of the movie, it finally picks up steam and things are finally rolling. And I think I basically enjoyed the last maybe 10 to 15 minutes of the movie, but the whole movie I found myself at times really bored, because I was like, it just never let me just observe what was happening. And they always tell you in film that you should definitely show, not tell. But this movie's whole tell. Everything is tell, 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 tell. And it's Harley Quinn telling it. So yes, it's a very Harley Quinn movie, but I really feel like as a movie itself, it's very hard to watch. If you were to ask me, hey, what about for comic book fans? Is this a movie that comic book fans would enjoy? And I would tell you, not really, because as a comic book fan, besides Harley Quinn, you really don't get the comic book huntress. The character is very stripped of their comic book aesthetic. I feel like they didn't take any care in the costumes for anybody else. Harley Quinn looks amazing in this movie. It's not the same Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad aesthetically, but she does look amazing in the movie. I feel like her hair, her makeup, her costumes, her costume changes are really awesome. The roller skates you see in the trailer are really awesome. But everybody else is like, they didn't really pay any attention to who they are as a character. Journey Smollett Bell, she did a great job with Black Canary, but they didn't even give her the Black Canary coat. And I feel like she was one of the few parts of the movie that I really enjoyed. I really wish they gave her character more to do, but they didn't give her the Black Canary coats. She didn't have the fishnets. It's like they didn't care about the characters. And then you have Renee Montoya, who's played by Rosie Perez. And I gotta say, I feel like she was very underutilized. And the way that she was put in this movie, maybe she didn't even have to be in the movie, really, because this is a Birds of Prey movie, and you really didn't stick to the kick-ass Renee Montoya that I thought I was going to see off the page of the comic. And as far as the LGBTQ representation, a lot of people are saying, well, Renee Montoya's in this movie, Black Mask, Ian McGregor is playing Black Mask in this movie. And I really feel like, besides the fact that they told you that these are LGBTQ characters, you really didn't get to see anything on screen that told you that these are LGBTQ characters. And even with Victor Zsasz, his character was kind of implied that he might have been an LGBTQ character as well, but you really don't see it on the screen. And I feel like the actors themselves weren't given a lot of material that they could actually portray that. And Ian McGregor, like, he's always a 50-50 with me, but I really feel like his character was not given enough to be the Black Mask that you expect. I thought he was going to be a horrible villain. He is horrible. He is annoying in this movie, but I really feel like you really didn't get to the point why his character is so horrible. Like, there was no explanation to why is he so damn terrible in the movie. And a lot of explanations of the other characters are left out. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who plays Huntress, I thought her character was interesting, how they portrayed her, but they didn't give her anything of a cool costume like you see in the comic book. Like I said, Dinah Lance, she didn't get a cool comic book costume. Nobody really gets a cool comic book costume besides Harley Quinn. I really feel like Margot Robbie, being the executive producer, she was like, make sure that all the spotlight is on me and nobody else, because all the actors did their best damn job. The actor who portrayed Victor Zsasz, I thought he did a great job with the character. I feel like everybody brought their A game. Margot Robbie does a great Harley Quinn, but I really feel like this script was basically bones. There was no meat on this script. There was no real plot that they can really delve into. So I really feel like the actors were given very little to work with. So as a comic book fan, I didn't really feel like I was really enjoying a comic book movie, because it really didn't touch the comic book like I wanted them to. Like I said with Gotham, it doesn't even look like the Gotham that we're looking forward to until the end of the movie. Yes, it shows you certain things in the trailer that are from Gotham, but really, you really don't get the Gotham that you're looking forward to. So as a movie itself, I really didn't enjoy this movie. I found myself kind of bored at times, and there's a lot of action, but action scenes are more like music videos in this movie, because there's music and there's kicking ass, but really, to what point? It's like a huge chase at times. So as a movie, this did not work for me. If you were gonna ask me, Tone Show, would you watch this movie again? I would be like, no. And that's crazy, because Suicide Squad, as polarizing as it was, I've watched Suicide Squad multiple times because there's a lot of good in Suicide Squad. I feel like they got the characters right. But here, I feel like everybody else who's not Harley Quinn did not get a fair shake as far as characters. The movie didn't get any momentum at any time, maybe until the last 10 minutes of the movie. There was too much soundtrack. There was too much loud explosions. There was too many fights that didn't really have any significance to the plot of the movie. And the plot of the movie is a very small, kind of generic plot that didn't serve any real purpose. So as a whole, I would ask you, wait for this movie on streaming. If you're curious about it, I went because I was curious. I would tell you, if you're curious about it, wait for it on streaming. Watch it on streaming. I would not definitely pay the same amount of money to watch in the theater again if I knew what I was getting into. So I'm disappointed with this Harley Quinn movie. I'm hoping that the character still comes back for the Suicide Squad. That's the name of the new movie they're doing for James Gunn. So I'm hoping the character comes back, because like I said, Margot Robbie did a great job with the character. But as a film, it just didn't work for me. The Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn says it all, because Birds of Prey is not what this movie is about. There's nothing short about this movie in getting to the point. Everything is like a crazy maze, and there's an assault on all your senses. So save your money. Wait for it on streaming. Anyway, that's what I thought. What did you guys think? Did you watch the movie? Put it in the comments. Make sure to mind your spoilers. Don't put any spoilers in the comments. And as always, guys, hit me with a like and share the Tone Show. Tone Show. Ow. Ooh. Last weekly. Check it out.